Now then, welcome to another video. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dan and I love quality vehicles such as this one. By the end of this video, this MR2, me and you, should be in Germany. Okay, we're gonna drive to the Nordschleife and see what this vehicle can do in standard trim before we do any changes. I thought that'd be a fun little thing for us to do. To start the year, the Nürburgring has already started its season. Almost 2 weeks ago. I've got a season pass. I should get out there. Sounds good? If you missed the previous video, I bought this car off Copart. Long story short, didn't think I was going to have to straighten it out. Turns out it was bent. Bastard. Wasn't meant to be bent. Whatever. Shit happens. Moving forwards, we're going to get it straightened out. I've got a present from Mr. J-Spec, who is supporting this build. He's an MR2 breaker in Scotland, posts worldwide. Really nice gentleman, and he has sent us a present that we're going to install on this car as well. Other than that, we're just going to service it and drive to Germany. I got it through the MOT last week. The car's pretty sound. On our itinerary of this video, before we go to Germany, engine oil change. I may change the air filter only because I've got a new panel filter somewhere, a K&N, that I only use for dyno testing, so I may stick that in. We may change the clutch. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it does after some test drives. And brake fluid. We're going to keep the original tyres. These are some Bridgestone tyres, but they're pretty old. They're 11 years old, but they've still got good tread. Original brake pads also still have some pad material on there, so we're not going to rush to change that. We're going to drive the car just in a completely standard specification at the Nürburgring. I'm going to probably try and do 100 laps or so in this car. Seems about a reasonable target, I think. The first thing we're going to do, I got some presents yesterday from Darkside's body shop. So in these two boxes we have a slide hammer kit. Oh, we have not been to the gym for a while. We've got a port to power, hopefully with all the right bits in, yes. So what's the problem with this MR2 then? Well, if you look at this, when I lower the bonnet, the hood, that's not meant to be there, okay? This corner is, right? So the chassis legs, we're going to give them both. This one less so, but this corner is crumpled in a little bit. It wasn't supposed to be. It was meant to be a cat end. We're not going to keep crying about that, don't worry. So what I'm going to do is get this little port power thing, hopefully not have to strip too much of the car down. We'll have to take the bumper and stuff off again. But yeah, we're just going to get it, hopefully, like the bonnet lines here to the wing, absolutely fine. It's just the front end has shifted over a little bit. Okay, so let's start by getting the headlights and the bumper off. If you are new to my channel, truly, I've driven these cars for a while now. I really like them. This is the Mark III MR2, the MRS if you're in Japan, or the Spider if you're in the US of A. I've driven quite a few cars in my time. I've not driven them all, but there are not many cars which steer the way that these do. I really like the way they drive. I am a bit of an enthusiast, you could say. But I've never actually owned a standard one before. This is the first car which is stock. So let's go and see what a stock one can do. We will do the wheel alignment as well before we go, and the Nordschleife. So engine oil, brake fluid, air filter. We'll give it a little bit of a service, change the engine oil, and then drive to Germany, which is about 550 miles from here. Maybe spend a week or so there, lapping when we can, just to get a little bit of a benchmark. So this car, I think, was owned by an enthusiast. If you know anyone who had a silver MR2 and they would have crashed it around August, July time last year, I'd love to know what accident they had. It can't have been assessed by the insurer. Actually IRL, they must have just assessed it over pictures, because you know the only physical like external damage was the bumper was cracked here, headlights weren't touched, bonnet wasn't touched, but yeah, it was enough to cock it over. Okay, bumper removed. So yeah, this is the the main damage area. So this being up like that was some damage that I caused trying to fix it. The aircon also doesn't work. I just tried to recharge it and it didn't really want to recharge. I'm thinking if we can push here, then it might bring everything out together. Yeah, we might get away with that. Oh, we do have a crash bar to install as well. Obviously that's missing. We didn't bother for the MOT. So the original crash bar must have contacted that as well. But if you look here, can you see this little crease as well? Not ideal. Let's see if we can't go frame rail to frame rail and have a positive time, have a good time. Hello. Okay then. I just feel like at the same time it's going to cause the other side to squish up, you know? This is what I was worried about would happen, and it's exactly what has happened. I don't think we can't do it frame to frame because they're both bent. But hey, the system works. Okay, so there's a bit of a crease here. So let's see if we can get that to be not a crease. Did we have any movement other than the full car's moving? So it's not what we want really. Okay, looking pretty good now. I'm happy with that, just about. It's not perfect, but it'll be perfectly fine. The car has just decided to put a spanner in the works slightly. Oh, this is on now. Look at this, and look at the gap. You know, it's a lot better than what it was. Remember when we had the MOT? Look at this here. The fluid, the shocker's blown. That's annoying because I wanted to, you know, obviously I've got coilovers on the other car, but I wanted to take the ring in a standard form and you know, test it out at the ring standard. So I might ask Mr. J-Spec to send me a shocker. Hopefully I don't need two. We're a few days on. Mr. J-Spec is sending me some struts, and I think the actual drive to the Nordschleife might not happen for a week at least, which is fine. It gives time to get the struts and you know, do all the other good stuff. But I have received a parcel from him today. I wasn't going to do any videos today on that vehicle, but it's interesting. So I asked Mr. J-Spec if he can send us something out of a breaker that'll let me Bluetooth some tunes. And yeah, thank you. Oh, thank you. That kind of looks like Mrs. J-Spec's handwriting, unless Andy's, you know, that delicate with a pen, who knows. But yeah, we've got an SD card with some random stuff on it, but this looks like, if there's an SD card, then well, this might be what is it going to be? I can see some interesting characters there, so maybe it's I don't know, like a cheap, hopefully it's like a cheap CarPlay thing. I don't know, am I getting carried away? Oh, I think it is. It's a thing, isn't it? Yeah, looks like we've got a little unit. Oh yeah. Oh, is that what's that? Ah, GPS. Interesting. I wonder what we've got here. A little Android unit, no doubt. So this is the current unit. It's yeah, just your standard Toyota. I haven't got a clue how to remove this. Cup holders. Maybe if I just keep pulling. Boink. Boink. Maybe I didn't need to take that one out. Boink. Screws. Right, we're gonna give this a test. Oh yeah. Have no media file. Mark. It works, but that's some static there, isn't it? Hopefully there's some naughty tunes on here. What? Did you see that? It said loading Israel. What the fuck is going on there? Weird interface. It works. Thanks, Mr. J-Spec. Who owned this car? We're doing some stuff on the MR2 today, shocks, and that should be the last thing before Nürburgring. We'll probably go for a test drive somewhere next week just to make sure it's all right. Potentially going to the Nürburgring next week. I just want to show you. I've got a new Merc design now, prototype. I'm not sure on the scale yet, but it's the same. You know, I didn't want to have that without a logo, and just having the circle logo looked a bit weird, so I kind of didn't totally steal, but kind of just stole this. So yeah, do you like it? Maybe you can purchase one if you want. Hey. But yeah, we're going to do front shocks today, so let's get it on the ramp. Oh, by the way, this is embroidered, not. We've gone for the stitching this time, not the printings. Did you say, do you want to do a shock each? We've got Ned for about half an hour. He's going to help us. Let's do it.
One shock for one shock.
Shocky. Oh, look at the state of that leak now. People crave the banter.
Fucking hell, this leak's worse than you think.
I hope it's the shocker, because that is a bad leak, isn't it?
Taste it.
It looks like the shocker's very wet.
No, where's that locker wheel?
It's the shocker.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, at least it can't rust.
People crave the banter. Just be careful here, because once the knuckle's free, it wants to... Oh, if only someone had some bungee cords, Ned.
Pardon?
If only someone had some bungee cords. It does smell a lot like brake fluid, but I guess brake fluid is hydraulic oil. Right?
Yeah. Let's pop it out, this fucking great.
Yeah, it's a good tool, that. So that's the broken one, obviously. Somebody. Mr. J-Spec actually had some good shocks on the shelf as well.
Did he?
OEM upgrade stuff, but they were bare shocks, and I was like, I can't be bothered putting them together, man.
Oh, the ones you've got complete?
Yeah. No messing.
We're about to start getting jiggy with fucking...
Hell no. That's the one thing I said. I didn't want to do spring compressing. People crave the banter. Well, these are definitely off a breaker. Could have done with some better dust boots, I think, but they'll do. They've only got to do one ring trip. Thanks to the J-Spec. Is it going backwards?
The state of that shocker is how I expect the ones on the band to look.
Yeah, I think it was difficult to get with dust boots. We're going straight back up, lad. I appreciate your enthusiasm. Scotland. Come and buy your MR2 parts from Scotland. Guaranteed cholesterol. People crave the banter. Just kidding. Alan Partridge. That's nuts and bolts, that's weird. He just pulled them straight off a breaker. He does have better shocks available if you're interested. I just asked for some standard ones that we could just drive to the ring on. And I'm not fussy. I got a new torque wrench, my Teng one broke. This is the Halford 300. They are made by a company called Norbar in the UK. They're meant to be pretty good. Oh no, Ned, it wasn't recording.
It wasn't recording?
This camera's got a really annoying 30-minute limit, which I think, yeah, I think I can get away with it with some firmware change or something,
When
but
did it stop?
we'll have to do that again. I don't know, let's find out.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, these must be aftermarket shocks. So we're having to do a nut and bolt here for the ABS sensor. Went for 180 Newton meters on the crash bolts. Let me know if that's wrong. Bit late now, but. So the plan for the brakes for the Nürburgring will be, well, we'll have some Dixel on there eventually. But for now, we're just going to take the the car as is, right? And the brake pads are already, they've got plenty of life, but I'm just a little bit worried about the brake fluid. If you didn't know, a brake pad, a weak brake pad, when you're on track, it can provide insufficient kind of bite, you know, it can go a bit numb. The pedal can still be rock solid, but you're just not slowing down. It's not a great feeling. Worse than that is when the brake fluid boils, and that's due to, you know, either the brake fluid not being a high enough spec for the vehicle. If you've got like a heavy car, you might find this, or it might just be pretty old and might not have been changed recently. So what we'll do is, I've got quite a lot of brake fluid spare, right? We've got all racing stuff from Miller's and Dixel and some other stuff floating around, and yeah, we'll just change the brake fluid to some racing stuff so that if we do have any brake fade or failure, hopefully the pedal will stay firm. I would prefer to have a firm pedal and just not enough braking force than, you know, to cook the brake fluid. And I think I can get away with that still being part of the standard car, you know, because we're going to change the engine oil to Miller's as well, and I don't think that's not breaking any rules, is it? The engine oil is the only thing that kind of lets this car down. I think it might have been sat for a while, this car. The engine oil is very dirty. I've never actually seen engine oil quite as dirty before, so unfortunately I can only fear that the rest of the engine is also quite dirty. But what I'm going to do now is start the car up, let it idle for a bit, get the oil circulating, and we'll change the engine oil. Should we change the clutch? I need to drive it before I think about changing. Oh, maybe we should change the clutch. I don't know. I've got a spare clutch. It's not in great condition, but it'll certainly do better than what's in there now, I think. I really don't want to change the clutch. I'd rather just manage it, but then if we go to the ring and we have a slipping clutch, then obviously that's gonna, if it slips whilst we're on track, then it's gonna hurt our lap time, isn't it? I'm going to Oulton Park this week with Darkside, driving the Caddy, hopefully. Maybe I'll take this and try and get it on track with the clutch as is, and if it's terrible, we'll change the clutch before we go. Sounds like a plan. I think we probably should change the clutch. We've driven it once and the clutch was slipping quite bad, right? So it's not going to get any better. Once the clutch starts to slip, we should change it, right? We'll just put the old one in from the old engine. If not, it's an XZD, it was in good condition before. So my fear about doing the clutch, I got a fear about doing the clutch, right? I don't want to do it because this car is an original road car, right? And I was hoping I would have better toolage by the time it came to actually doing anything on it. I really want to get an air hammer. I've been talking about it on my Discord for a while. And when it comes to getting these drive shafts out, we might have a problem. We might struggle to get them out. Okay, sorry that it's noisy, but what we're interested in here, if we can get that to move ever so slightly. If we can get it to move, then we're on to a winner, and it shouldn't be such a bad job. If we can't get it to move, then we're in for a bad time. Okay, are you feeling lucky? Yeah, boy! Okay, that's good. Very, very good start. There's a person on my Discord right now having a very bad time trying to get these to move. And here we are. Hopefully this one will have such as good luck. Yeah, boy! Unfortunately, that means that we now must change the clutch because we don't have any excuses. But I'm very happy about that. That could have been a pain. Sign of a good car, perhaps, maybe. Okay, one on the tray off. Yeah, it looks fresh under here. I guess having the under tray has helped it. The subframes on these aren't coated really, so they tend to rust, and this one's definitely got some corrosion, but it's not terrible. I'll show you more about it shortly. It smells like engine oil, but it's definitely not the best condition engine oil you'll ever see. Oh, it's got a Toyota oil filter. Yeah, look, if that's not a good sign, I don't know what is. Genuine Toyota oil filter. Don't worry, I've not got another one to put back on. We're going blueprint, baby. Hopefully the gearbox oil looks good. Oh, it does. Oh, the gearbox oil looks very good. Gearbox oil looks like brand new, which it should, so that's nice. I think this car has been looked after. I think this has even been changed at some point. It looks golden, really golden. I'm sorry you can't see it. Right, it's time to get down to the nitty gritty. It's been a while since I've had the gearbox off, but one thing that kind of sucks about these cars taking the gearbox off is 3 of the 4 engine mounts reside on the gearbox. That's annoying because we need to take the gearbox off. But what we're going to do to start with is we know the shafts are free. This is a huge thing. It makes me feel all warm inside toward the car. This car being a facelift, it has a few more bars and support stuff going on that obviously we don't need to take them off, but I don't want to break them. So the only issue we're going to have is that these may never have been off before, right? Rear pads aren't amazing, they'll be fine. So there's a bearing bush, which is what I've heard. It's a spherical, basically a sealed spherical joint on the lower hub on these, and I'd rather not disturb it, but we do need to swing the arm out to get the drive shaft out, so I might do it on the inside one. But then the problem we're going to have, or the problem we might have, 20-year-old car, if the bolt has seized to the inner ace of any of these bushes, we're going to have a bad time. Simple as. This can also spin, and we can have a bad time here on this one. This is the tow arm. Let's just start doing stuff and see what happens, I guess. I'm going to have to face it sooner or later. I'd rather not face it today, but here we are. That looks like it's coming out. That was incredibly painless compared to how it could have been. We're off to a very good start. I'll try and not get covered in rust if I can. Am I in frame? Because I got a fucking mouthful. Let me get out of the way. This is going very well. I mean, it's obviously still rusty, and we've got a lot of MR2 on the floor, but this is a ball joint, so it can do ball joint things, you know. Depends how stuck it is. It wasn't tight, I'll tell you that. I mean, I'm using a massive aviation spanner, so maybe that's helping. All right, we should see some rust fall down now. Wow. There's something going on here. Someone's tricking me. This is all coming apart. Very nice. I sound grateful, but it's spooky. Right, I need to break the drive shaft out of the seal on the inside now. This is always fun. Well, this is quite sad. I had a perfect piece of wood last week and I can't find it. Well, I found another piece of wood, so maybe this will work. So I'm going to try and hit this here and shock it out. Oh, easy money. What's going on today? It's crazy. Yeah, it's come out. If any of you remember back in the day, I used to absolutely hate working on the MR2 because it would just never a pleasurable experience. I mean, obviously I'm more, oh God, don't. We don't want to break that seal. Obviously I'm more experienced now, but still, you know. Right, I want to be able to, that's going to be in the way. So the problem I've got now is this guy is in the way for me to pull the hub out as far as I want, so I'm going to have to see if that'll play ball and come out. Right, that's ridiculous. This is coming apart easier than what my race car did, which has been in a million pieces a million times. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that had no business being that easy. Let's see what this side says. So this side's a little bit different because we've got the intermediate bearing. We still have to undo just as much, but we've got there's no ring to try and break free inside the box. So it's a little bit easier. Lovely stuff. Hey, little Milwaukee's doing good too. There we go. Grease. They're only tippy taps, in case you wondered. No mushrooming. Okay, now I need to get the intermediate shaft thing off, which can be a bit of a twat. So there's this intermediate bearing here, and what I normally do is break it off the engine, and I used to strip the threads so many times. I've got a few of these engines, these 1ZZs, and yeah, they've all got helicoils there. But what I'm wondering is, do I need to do that? I'm pretty sure if I can undo these two bolts here and split the bearing on the car, then I think I don't have to take that bearing bracket off. But the question is, can I do that? Remind it that it's not one piece. Aha. So we'll leave the bracket on the car. Yeah, there's a lot of things happening that I'm happy they are, but it's just weird. Like, we should be struggling a lot more. And it's not just a case of me knowing what I'm doing, which obviously I'm an expert now and all that, but the car's just not fighting us at all. Obviously the red car was endless fights all the time, and this is saying, yeah, I do need a clutch. Please give me a clutch. Fucking what, mate? So I've slid the inside, the inner CV back into the box, and now let's just get that. This is where it's really easy to scratch the boot and at worst pierce it. I don't want to do that. That'll do. I think I'm going to do stuff from the top next. I have a little bit of, I think we should maybe do a little tidy up. There's quite a lot of MR2 on the floor. But yeah, really happy with how things have gone so far. Yeah, I'm waiting for I'm waiting for something to mess up, because this has just been nice so far. Almost pleasurable, apart from all the rust maybe, but. Okay, we're working up top now. I'm probably going to take the airbox out going to change the air filter anyway. There's a coolant pipe that runs around it. I can't remember how to change the air filter on these now. It's going to be easier just to take it out though, I do believe. That'll give us a little bit more access. There's a vacuum pipe there, part of the petrol ventilation stuff to catch the dirty fumes. We don't really have to take any of this off. So what I'm trying to do is get my hand down under here, because, if you just come with me a moment, we've got the gear cables, which are, can you see where the little circlet with a little brass kind of thing is there? So there's two of them. We need to pop those off. And there's also this sensor for the reverse light. I think that's it. I think that's all we really need to do. As well as there's two bolts in here. We can get to one of them quite easily there, which I might try and do as a nice little starter, because it's going to probably be quite tight. Although judging by everything else on this car, it seems, you know, someone's been paying attention, you know, someone's been treating her pretty nice, which is nice to see, isn't it? I mean, this should probably be about maybe 100 newtons, and add some galvanic corrosions in there. Good thing about these bolts is once they're cracked loose, they usually don't put up a fight. This is literally the easiest one to get to as well, from the top anyway. There's a few easy ones underneath, but we've got two of these. The other one you have to get from underneath with a couple of the right sized extensions, and you have to figure that out yourself as well, of course. Get up and over the gearbox. Wow, that pot looks brand new. Other than where I was chewing on it a little bit, but look at that. Wonderful. Love stuff like that. That felt looks pretty good. Wow, yeah, look at that. Borg and Becker. Not the best, not the worst. Well, maybe the worst. So I want to get that circlip out without losing it ideally. Good time for a sponsor. Seems like good stuff this. I don't know, let's see if it'll just give these a little bit of lube to come out. Yep. There's one. There's two. Happy days. All right. I know you can't see this very well, but now I need to wiggle this little pry bar underneath where the clips are for the gear cables, and I can barely see a thing either. I've put a country playlist on. It's one of those Spotify playlists where it tries to, you know, make a playlist for you using all its clever AI and stuff. And it's currently playing the house building song from Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm not complaining, it's just funny, isn't it? Ow. Can't get it to move, mate. Maybe I'll get this out of the way and have a better look. I think the wiring loom just clips. Oh wait, no, there's a bolt. This car is 5 years newer than the other one, so maybe they updated some of their practices, I don't know. I've not had the video on for a little bit just because I was getting a little bit annoyed and my shoulder were hurting to do your rotator cuffs down. Apparently that's what I need to do. Don't gym anymore, do I? I'm just a normal person with normal people problems. Those shifter cable, the second one was a lot easier from behind. So that was almost, you know. I'm just on with the starter motor bolts now. I've got all the other gearbox bolts out. I've got the passenger side engine mount out. I've got the front engine mount pretty much good to go. So what we're going to do is get the starter motor bolts out, and then we'll go to the top and we'll put an engine brace on just to hold the engine in place. Because obviously I said 3 of the 4 engine mounts, or you know, running gear ice mounts you might call it these days, right? I know because it doesn't count. What's the word for the engine and transmission? The propulsion engine. I don't know. Anyway, I've got most of the gearbox bolts out. It's just a starter motor one, I think. It's got the slave cylinder off as well. That is out the way. All the wiring and stuff is out the way. So I think we're about ready to drop. Drop your trousers. Donald, where's your trousers? I've also changed the music up a little bit. Right, remember that's for the starter motor. I've only had one bolt fight me. Yeah, I had one bolt fight me. I had to get the these out. Extendo pipe occurs. To see confines the bolt. It was just like seriously corroded. That might have been it. See the white stuff? Yeah. Anyway, that's all ancient history now. Yeah, I think one bad bolt out of everything we've done so far is pretty good going on a 20-year-old Japanese car. Right, I think I'm pretty confident that's the last bolt that holds the gearbox to the engine. So now it's just on some dowels. Let's go back up top. We'll put an engine bracings on. Right, so the idea with this then is, if you've not seen one before, there's a hole here on the engine which ideally we'd put a hook in. I don't think I've got a hook. Where's Captain Hook? If not, we can just put a bolt through there and we'll just hold the engine up, and it's bolted at the back. So the back right or the front right of the engine and the back left. So it shouldn't rock too much, and we can go up and down on here as well and adjust it if we need to. So that's taking the slack of the engine now. We can undo the rest. I don't think we have to do anything from up top. To be honest, we're not going to take the gearbox off in the sky anyway. We're doing it. Even on a ramp, it's still easier just to get on your back and get the gearbox off usually. Still feels like there's something connecting it at the top. But I'm pretty confident I've got all the bolts out. Oh, I'm done. Slave cylinder's going to try and fall down a sec. Stay up there, you bastard. Okay. There's definitely no bolts up the top. There's definitely nothing holding it in up the top. Definitely. I'll check again, of course, because this is a bit weird. Is there a dowel at the top, maybe? Maybe there's just a dowel at the top. I've lowered the engine at the top on the engine thingamajiggy. I feel like there's something still connected that shouldn't be. If I lower the engine more, what will happen is the top of the engine will come down towards this as well. So it might be better actually to raise the engine up and it'll pull it away and might have more chance. I'll try that. You just keep an eye on the gearbox and catch it if it falls. Okay, now we should be able to get it out. Oh yeah, it's very keen to come out now. Hope I'm strong enough. Wow, I didn't even forget about any wiring. That's crazy. Oh yeah, the clutch looks pretty sad. Oh, rusty. Why is the clutch rusty? And now for my final trick. Wow. Wowcha. Thank you. I think, in my honest opinion, that this car was stood for a lot longer than what I well, actually, the MOT, it was last MOT'd March last year, and then it seemed to have a crash in summer. But this looks like it's been parked up outside for a long time, because they have, you know, there's like an inspection hole back here, and you know, they're not completely airtight, and it's just steel, so it roughs up, you know. What I'm saying is the clutch might have actually got better. It might have just had a bit of shit on it, and it might have actually got better after I drove it for a little bit. Which I didn't drive it for a little bit. I've only driven it to the MOT and back. So maybe, well, it's not like I'm going to regret putting a better clutch in it, right? Because it was slipping. And it's very rare that a slipping clutch will get better, but I mean, looking at this, looks to me like there was a chance that could happen. I don't know what you think. You're the internet experts after all. Where's this? Oh, there you go. I don't think this is the original clutch. Oh, it says Toyota on it. It's certainly not a good condition clutch. It feels smooth. If these mating surfaces were, you know, corroded too, then maybe my theory about it burning off would work. But look, that is super smooth. This side's not too bad. The flywheel side, I think this is. I think that's the gearbox side. Anyway, one side is definitely way more battered than the other, but yeah, they're both. It's knackered, definitely knackered, that's cool. And yeah, I didn't think it was Toyota because it doesn't have springs, it has these little, whatever they are, some kind of different kind of damper, but just say Toyota just there, if you can make it out. I know I mentioned something about tidying up last night, but it didn't get, no, it didn't happen, did it? I really got good vibes working on it. I didn't want to say I enjoyed working on it, because obviously not, right? But I started looking into different gearboxes and stuff. And I think we can have a lot of fun with this engine. And there are off the shelf, well, in other car gearbox options, which would make it really spicy, or we can just change the final drive in that gearbox, or maybe, you know, in this gearbox or something. Basically what I'm alluding to is, I think that we can have a lot of fun in this car, and I'm going to concentrate on this for the initial part of the year at the Nürburgring. We'll do slow car fast. Like, there's a track day at the end of April, and I was going to try and get this out to this. It was for this car and Dark Side Caddy, which is coming the 2-day track day. One day in this, one day in the Caddy. But I think we're going to do slow car fast stuff. I don't know how you feel about that, but remember, this year I'm trying to find some middle ground between making good content that people want to watch and also having a good time, which hopefully that will be. I don't know. It's probably better that we do the slow car fast stuff before the fast car fast stuff anyway, right? So then we can tell everyone how much more fun we had doing the slow car fast stuff. This is a Parkside trolley, by the way, that my engine's on. I know, right? We need to get the gearbox off so we can get the clutch out. You wouldn't reuse a clutch like you've been racing on, would you? Yep, absolutely would. As long as it's not absolutely knackered when we get it out, why not? So this gearbox is a 5-speed. The one on the facelift cars is 6-speed. This is actually a JDM gearbox with an LSD fitted, right? If you watched any of my videos from before, you'll know we had a lot of fun building gearboxes, learning how gearboxes work. And even one time we fitted a gearbox to this car after working on it, and it went forwards in neutral, which was not what we wanted. So that was fun. We had to pull it straight back out and figure out what I'd done wrong. I'd put a washer in the wrong place or something, or, you know. So I've got a bit of an idea how these gearboxes go together anyway, is what I'm telling you. And yeah, the Celica, and the Corolla both have the 2ZZ and 17-inch wheels, right? So they have a 2ZZ that revs higher, and they have the 17-inch wheels, larger diameter. Therefore, their gearboxes, if you take one of their gearboxes and mount it to an MR2 with a lower revving engine and smaller wheels, it's quite spicy, right? From the factory. The top speed, theoretical top speed, if this car could ever get there, which it couldn't, would be 174, according to my calculations last night. You know, if it had enough power or whatever, it'd be 174, yeah? If we put this Celica, not the Celica one, the Celica one, if we put the Corolla one on, it'll be 134, which I think could be perfecto for the Nordschleifer. But yeah, we'll carry on as we are. We'll take the car over standard spec next week, get the baseline, and I think that I'm going to come back and I think we'll spend a few weeks doing all the race car stuff to it and hopefully fit in a super short ratio gearbox as well. And I think that'll be a lot of fun to take back. It really doesn't want to sit on the sump for some reason. I think that's the gearbox is actually a little bit lower. I think I'm going to have to try and hold that there and then get that off somehow, beat past the friction. It's not what we want to happen, is it? Uh-oh. Yeah. Well. Okay, that's not the end of the world. So let's see how this clutch locks. This is an Exedi. Obviously it's been abused a bit. I mean, it's definitely had some heat in it, but it looks a lot better than the other one. Made in Japan. Yeah, look at the heat marks. But I mean, it drove fine, so hopefully it'll be fine. Saves buying the new one, for the time being anyway. So I guess that kind of puts more perspective on how bloody shiny this one is, right? You can see how you can't really see much of the threads, let's say. It's just all shine, whereas at least on this one you can still see some of the friction. It's still shiny, but you know, it's had a little bit of abuse. Putting a used clutch in a car, I'm sure this might divide the old comments a bit, but it's noticeably thicker, this clutch as well, so yeah, it's going to be awesome, basically. All right, let's get it on the car. All right, we're back under the MR2. Look at the build-up here of dust and, well, it's just brake dust, look at that. Ugh. $15mm Halford socket, fits in the middle pretty good. That gives an idea, like. We have to try and get the clutch disc centered, right? If you're not sure what I'm trying to bodge, I'm trying to get the clutch disc centered so that when we put the gearbox on, the shaft lines up. That's the attempt anyway. Not now, naan bread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this engine mount actually had thread sealant, thread locker in this side. That's not good. Well, it's not terrible, is it? But I'm just going to clean out all the threads because I've had so many problems on these gearboxes before. Hey, this gearbox has QR codes on it. They weren't doing QR codes in 2005, were they? It's like some reconditioned stuff. Or... I don't think it's not a factory sticker, is it? Has the gearbox been reconditioned or something? Don't know about that. Cool, let's get it back on the car. Well, I tried to do this mount on to make it easier, but God, might have to lower the car down. I am not as strong as what I once was. Ta-da! I will get some bolts in now. That was a bit of an effort. The gearbox is back on and filled up with oil and stuff. We're going to do the brake fluid now. And then I've not tightened up all the suspension bushes yet. Simply because I could do with a bit of a longer pipe. I've not tightened up the suspension yet because they're all rubber bushes still, and you know we should do that when it's at ride height, of course, because we are smart people. The brake fluid that's in here looks pretty good. Looks clean, but well, guys, that's a good sign of a good, well-maintained car, I think. Let's get a socket on it first. That don't feel too good. This guy's the king at these. You can turn both, you can, you know, twist it properly and without putting any other forces on, you know. Oh, it's tight though. Yeah, it came loose. Didn't feel great though, it tells you. Let's take it out and have a look. They've been painted, these calipers, you can see. Done a nice job, but have you blocked the nipple? It's really not coming out at any immediate rate. It is coming out though. Oh yeah, I was able to take my hoodie off for the first time of the year. It's the 30th of March today. We're currently in here, it reckons it's 19 degrees. It feels warm. Probably enough to get us started. We'll do one more dirty job, which is the brake fluid, and then I promise, well, I tell you, I promise you what, we're having a fucking tidy up, mate. I tell you. Did have covers on, all 4 corners, had nipple covers on, nipple tassels, so that's a good sign as well. They usually fall off, so that means they've probably been replaced. This method, I've done it for so long now, but it's so messy. I'm gonna get a compressor up here soon. In this corner, I'll have my own compressor, and we'll get like a vacuum thing for it. Cause I'm just sick of having brake fluid on my hand when I'm doing this, right? There's got to be a better way, and I think it is. Cause that's flying out now. I think the better way is to use compressed air to create a vacuum. Or maybe I'll still get it everywhere, who knows. So yeah, the brake pads are in okay condition for us trip. There's paint marker on the track rod ends. Someone's marked up that, so maybe it's had a track rod end change, I don't know. Someone's marked it for some reason. Whoa. So yeah, 360mm fluid through it, plus whatever's on the floor. Not bad. Right, I'll tidy up, then we'll do the suspension. And now for my last trick, we shall be doing the alignment. First task, I'm going to tighten up all the suspension that we left loose. I think I can remember what the torque specs are. We have a problem with this toe arm on this side is spinning. So I don't know if you'll be able to make it out, but when the nut turns, so does the thread. It's nicht gut. So we can try and apply some pressure. Maximo Park and see what happens. Is it working? I don't think it is, right? See if Jackie can sort the job out. It's lifting the wheels, so it's quite a lot of pressure. No. So this is a nut that I found earlier. It's not a locking nut, and it's not terrible inside. I would have hoped that would work. Let's try a different nut. I got a few. I got another nut. This is off the other car. This is an aftermarket one that I fitted before. Yeah, it's working. I'm not sure if it's got as far as what the other nut did yet, but just keep cranking and see if it nicks up. It's feeling pretty good. Cool. Hells bells. I think I'll wait until I've test driven it before putting the under tray back on, but we are done here. Yes, we are. Time to align it. This car's definitely been looked after. I know it's a bit crusty underneath and it was crash damaged and whatever, but a lot of good signs. I got the double trouble with the park side. I know it's dark because I've turned the lights off, that's why, you see. But yeah, this is cool. So they were like 20, oh, you can't see shit all. So I ended up getting 2 of these. They were like 25 quid each, and a good laser level's about 100 quid, right? So I got half price and I got 2 of them. But with 2, right, the beam might not be as strong, but I'm only working in like a, you know, 10 square meters max, right, or something. So what I can do is pick a point on one of them and then work from that, if you know what I mean. It just saves me time from having to move the level around. Yeah. We've got full rubber bushes and everything, so you know, going to the nth degree is, yeah, we'll do the alignment now. Yeah. Guess what? I checked the tyre pressures there and all 4 tyres were bang on 30. You know, this car has been cherished by someone, but who? We need to find this person. See if you can find out who had this car and crashed it. See if they've got any pictures. Anyway, it's alignment time. I don't think camber's adjustable on the standard car, is it? All right, we're set up. So let's do some measurements and see what is going on so far. I can already see that the wheels are doing that. So I double checked the steering wheel and it looks pretty straight to me. Maybe I'll get the step ladders just to be sure. But this is maybe the difference between what a computer might say and what a string might say. Measuring off the centre caps is obviously not 100% either, but we'll get there. Looks like to me, well, I think the wheels are going to be turned to the left slightly. 75, 75, maybe not. Ooh, interesting. 76, 74, yeah. Maybe it was set up with string, who knows? Let's just even that out. So I'm going to lock off this side because this is even, and we're just going to set the car to straight. We're not going to do any toe in, toe out. Well, maybe a smidge of toe in on the rear. From factory, these cars actually run toe in on the front as well, but we're not going to do that. That would be criminal. That's the front of the tyres pointing inwards. It's just a super safe and stable. Okay, that's you having my baby. Cool, perfect. You know what, I'm betting if we'd have measured before undoing things, we might have found that this car was in a perfectly drivable spec. But you know, where's the fun in that? So this is where the fun's gonna come because this is way out at the minute. I'm gonna start by putting this lock nut back a little bit tight. Oh yeah, so we have problems. So we need to push the back of the wheel out, right? Ignore the rust, I haven't shaved for a while. I flip these adjusters round on my car. I put the threads on the inside and, you know, in my head it makes it better. So if we turn this clockwise, so there's a nut on the back that I'm turning, right, a bolt. Well, this is a bolt through, right? And there's one of these kind of eccentric washers on each side. And if I crank on that, it's going to push the out of the wheel, back of the wheel out, right? You see it? So bring it in, push it out. Bring it in, push it out. Bring it in, push it out. So I think probably somewhere around there is probably going to be about right. I think we will go for a smidge of toe in, just given the sogginess of it. I don't really want to crash it at the ring. So that's 77 and 70. So we've still, well, so sorry, no, we've got it a bit too far. So if we just wind that back a little bit. Back a little bit, go about there. 72, so a little bit more, we're close. A little bit more, like that with the salt. A little bit more. $73 and a half. 74. Okay, we're happy with that. Now, try and tighten this up without it moving. I'll just double check the measurement. So we've got 1/2 mil of toe in, that's basically nothing. But you know, Scoober Steve likes it safe, I don't know, does he? Can't watch Big Daddy for a while. So this side I'm expecting good things. 71, 73. Huh. So yeah, we need to come back the same. We need to bring it back in a little bit. Bosh. Toe in, toe out, toe in, toe out, toe in, toe out. Yeah, get it? Australia, America, Australia, America, Australia, America. You should rock the car back and forth really as well, but here we are. So I was adjusting that for a while and I didn't realise the lock nut was really loose. So what was happening was it was just springing back because the rubber bushes and rubber likes to, you know, stay where it is. Please, 72.5. 72, ah, perfect, thank you. Oh, that'll do, donkey, that'll do. Well, I just did a little road test in the car to test the brakes, the suspension, obviously got new struts, the clutch and everything. The clutch feels kind of low, but it's working pretty good. They're not adjustable, the throw, it's a hydraulic clutch, so there's not a lot I can do about that. But yeah, it drives pretty good, pretty sporty on these little narrow roads. Yeah, I'm gonna take it to Oulton on Wednesday. Do a little, will I scratch the door? No, I just didn't wash it properly. Yeah, this tail light isn't working for some reason, so maybe have a look at that. But yeah, it drives pretty good on the road. Feels okay. Very much looking forward to getting a seat in it, but we'll do our first trip just in standard trim, I think, and the Nordschleife, and we'll get a real idea of what the crack is. But hey, these cars on a road like this, on a Brexit country road, and I mean, the weather today is pretty nice too. It's like 16 degrees C, and you know, it's just nice, man. Like, this is really good vibes. I'm joyfully driving. Look at how joyful I am in my little car. Yeah, look, if I put the hazards on. Oh, it is working now. Oh, what? There's the brake light that's a bit funky in there, and it's that guy no worky there. Okay, yeah, I'm sure, why not. So the car drove pretty good then, felt a little bit floaty at high speed, but it's all rubber bushes and, you know, old tyres. It's also got a bit of a wheel wobble as well, which I've just been around the car and checked, and I can't see any reason for that. So I'm wondering if these tyres are just, you know, they're old tyres, right? These are old tyres, so yeah, we'll see. I can't see any bulges or anything like that. And then the wheels have got weights on them. I actually balanced the front wheels when I was getting the MOT done. So maybe it's worth checking the rear wheels on a balancer. I might try and do that before we do drive to Germany. I've just noticed as well that I think the rear pads are a bit lower than what you want to go and drive around on track with, especially because typically, you know, factory spec pads can't really take the abuse. Like there's probably about Half-Life the video game on the front, but on the rear there's not a lot, maybe like quarter of the original. Anyway, I've got some OEM style rear pads from the other car anyway, I think. So we'll just swap them over, yeah, like Mintex or something, can you see? So I'll stick them in.
And then obviously down over right up. Yeah. Right up and take.
I spent a bit of time trying to get the handbrake to work properly, and yeah, long story short, did not. It's 8:20, and there were some other things that I was supposed to do. That's nice, isn't it? Oh, can you see? I'm driving to Oulton tomorrow, so I just need to get tidied up and get away now. Maybe it's not going to rain tonight, so I'll maybe just try and fix that in the morning, I guess. Okay, I'll see you at Oulton Park, because this is, yeah, I've once again gone the full Grand Autismo. Yeah, okay, just passed the MOT, why does it matter? Oh, I wanted it to work. Well, this is funny. It's 10 PM and I think someone forgot to plug the headlights in. That's probably why it was doing that indicator thing yesterday, wasn't it? I think it was. I think we better go back inside and fix that then. Okay. Well, that was annoying, wasn't it? Okay, cool. See you at Oulton. Hey look, I made it. It's a little bit windy, but we made it. Yeah. You know what that means. This is going to be slow as fuck and we might crash. By the way.
Yeah, well. Go on, quick.
No sound test. Nice. Go steady. I can't really see out at mirrors either.
You want to move them?
No, I can't. They won't go further out. I think I need to change them. Wow.
How old are these tyres?
11 years old, I think.
11. That's not as old as I thought they could be.
You can feel it, can't you?
Yeah. Whoa! So fast.
Yeah. Whoa!
A little bit sideways.
I had to let off to let him by, we're fast.
He obviously ain't got the power of them No, don't kill me there. Don't kill. I've had a bad experience.
I weren't expecting that.
That just came out of nowhere.
Proper long gears.
Yeah.
That's
This will not be quick on the track if you don't change there. Is he a shorter box?
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah, you need that.
This is 175 top speed, we knew it was 135.
175?
Yeah, theoretically,
Yeah, I was
ratio.
gonna say, it'd never do it. Sideways, aren't we? I think you must have sat on, like, writing on side of wall then.
What, sidewall?
Yeah, when it went for it. These have got to dip in them, haven't they?
Yeah, it's only a Oulton though.
It works though, it kind
It's
of...
not brakes.
Yeah, it stinks a bit. How do they feel?
Not great.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're taking it steady.
As the catering stage drove into it.
Did it?
I'm not getting bullied by a caterer.
No, we can't do that. Yeah, but I feel like it's going to be that it takes it till it interests it. You know what I mean?
The brake pedal feels a bit shit.
Yeah. Alright. All the track.
It's going to be converted after this.
Please don't roll it, Ryan, your head will die. Stalled it immediately.
Stalled it immediately.
Oh, she drifts. Oh, what is that?
like that?
Definitely, it wants to oversteer turning right more than left.
It was squeaking a lot
Yeah.
around turn 1.
Yeah, but the gear shift, you know when you're going down for second,
Yeah.
you can go a bit past and it don't want to go, does it?
That's in reverse, I think.
Yeah, well, I just kept going a bit too much, and then because I got clutching too long,
Right.
it will lose it. I will lose it rear into chicane.
You kept losing rear.
Yeah.
Doing all right. I think they're about 14-year-old or something. Tyre stamps on inside at tyre. That's how old they are. Yeah.
Look at that, no wonder.
What?
Look at it.
It's been rolling over a bit, I think,
It's
hasn't
absolutely
it?
dead.
Bridgestone. Look at rollover.
It's got all odd tyres on and everything.
No, they're all good tyres. They're all the same tyre.
Are they?
Yeah.
Eco Plat. No, they're not. That one's not a Bridgestone.
Yeah, they are. They're all Bridgestone. I'm telling you.
Eco. Oh yeah, Eco.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Right, enjoy it then.
Yeah, we're good. Thank you. Got decent.
Yeah. Minor problem averted. It's nice driving around with the top down.
Top down.
Yeah. I used to enjoy doing this in my K21. Obviously, I've had an MR2 for quite a while now. You know, I've had an MR2 since 2018. I guess I've always kind of had one, but I've not had a road one for a while. Yeah, it was good fun that. Right, this video is obviously already very long, and we're not at the Nürburgring yet, are we? No, we're not. I'll be driving there in 2 days. The car was at Oulton yesterday, right? What I'm gonna do today is just put it back in the lift, check over anything. The brake pedal feels a little bit mushy now on the road, right? So I'm pretty sure the rear pads will be fine, but I'm just gonna have a quick look at the front pads and see what's happened to them. Make sure they haven't like fallen apart and crumbled or whatever. Also need to figure out what tools I'm going to take with me just this time. Obviously, I hope I'm not going to be spannering much. I'll just probably take a basic toolkit, and yeah, whilst I've still got the soft top, which will be going, you know, by the next time we go, which is a shame because I have enjoyed. I mean, it's ripped and it's not a good condition one by any means, but you know, I have enjoyed driving it around with the top down. That's pretty cool, man. Like, I never really thought I'd like that, but yeah, it's, well, you know, obviously it's not the first MR2 I've had, and I've done that before, but I forgot how much fun it was, let's say. Yeah, it's good fun. Yeah, so today I'm just gonna check over it and get it packed. Just a little admission. Of course, yes, I have had my haircut for our European travels, but I'm just looking at these front brakes, right? I know we did I filmed for hours work. We're not gonna go Tismo, right? We're just gonna do it right. You might notice something's changed, okay? So as soon as I took the wheel off, first off, look at the brake dust, right? I did like, what, 3 or 4 laps, and then Ryan went out and did the same. Not a hard life really, but the pads haven't taken it so well. So I don't know what pads were in there before, but it's these ones. Oop. So it's these ones, and they're unbranded. I can't see what they are, but look, the ears have got a bit melty. So the ears have got a little bit melty, and they stink. Look at the glazing. Yeah, they want to buy Manchester United. Look at that. No, they absolutely stink. Like, honestly, trust your nose. You know when you're like smelling chicken or whatever, and your nose is telling you that, hey, that poultry ain't right. Yeah, they smell so bad. So I mean, look at the life. Like, fine, but yeah, I'm gonna trust my nose here. I had these pads in a box for the longest time, and obviously I've been sponsored by Dixel for a few years now. I don't know where these came from. I've got a feeling they might have come with a car that I bought maybe, or perhaps someone donated me them, but I've had them for the longest time, and it's a good time to use them up, I think. So yeah, slight cheating, but this is like a fast road brake pad. Like, it's not a racing brake pad or anything, but yeah, I think remember we talked about braking confidence. We want to brake it, but we're still going to be on the old tyres, don't worry about that. And it's still going to be a standard road car, but we are going to have these slightly better brakes just because I'm going to Jim Appel, J Trusty Nosy, yeah? Nothing else broken though. I checked all the tyres. All the tyres look pretty good, and yeah, no, nothing's fallen off really much. So yeah, I'm going to do the brakes and then we'll pack it and get out of here. Oh yeah, I'll give them a bleed as well, why not, while we're here. Look at this little, look at this arrangement here. What a motor vehicle. You couldn't do that, could you? Yeah? Goes Fruxton once and pisses its pants. Yeah? Yous are just like museum pieces now, ain't you? Ain't ya? Oh, can't have any fun on these trains anymore. In case you're wondering, yes, arrived. We're making the first trip around the track tonight. Thanks for watching. I'll see you there.